So solicitor says L named Z executor of her will. Her only beneficiary was her grandson, of whom she was very fond. So Z is the executor of L's will, and the grandson is the beneficiary that she loved. Prior to distributing the remainder of to the beneficiary, Z was legally required to choose which properties in the estate should be sold to clear the estate's heavy debts. L never expressed any particular desire about the Stoke farm, which includes the only farmland in her estate. Thus, it is unlikely that L would have had any objection to Z having sold it rather than have transferred it to her grandson.
Okay, so what's our conclusion?
It is unlikely that she would have had any objection.
Then Z having it sold, then
transferred it to
her grandson. Yes. And it's because, and what is our reasoning for this? That we're saying that she's not going to care?
Because she didn't specifically state it in the will.
Yeah, she expressed no particular desire. Do you think that this is a good reason for this argument?
Yes.
Since she never expressed a desire, you think that's enough to say that she would have no objection to selling it, to giving it to her grandson?
Yes. Is that wrong?
Yeah, I think like what if like just because she didn't express it, does that mean that she doesn't have it?
But if she was very fond of her grandson and she wanted him to have the property, wouldn't she have expressed those wishes in her will?
Probably a very logical person would, but not all of us are very logical people. Some of us like, I mean, I like okay, so for like if I like I don't maybe she thought that this was just common knowledge.
Mm.
Like, you know, like of course I want my grandson to have it. So what we're looking for, even though that this could be a good reason, we're looking for a reason for why her not expressing it is not enough to guarantee that it's unlikely that she would have a objection.
Okay.
What if oh, I know what I'm thinking. Like what if she doesn't really love the farm, but she didn't know that her grandson really wanted it? Would you think that might have changed her mind?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Like yeah, maybe she had no idea.
Okay.
Or maybe her grandson now has kids and her grandson's kid wants the farm. I have no idea. So let's go ahead and walk through these answer choices. So on a weekend question, do we want a strong or mild answer?
Mild. Strong.
Think about it. What are we trying to do on a weekend question? What's the goal of
it? The goal is to kind of break down the argument.
Destroy it, right?
Yeah.
So so if we want to destroy the argument, do you think we want a more strong or a more mild answer?
Strong.
Yes. Because we want to kill, like it's more like a stronger answer choice is more likely to like absolutely kill that argument. All right, so go ahead and read through these answer choices.
So I chose A, the estate's debts could not be cleared without selling the farm. But I see why that's wrong because she had to sell the farm anyways, right?
Yeah, and we're saying that we're essentially what we're trying to say here is that it is likely that she would have objected. Well, the fact that selling the farm is needed like doesn't make it so that Lou probably would have objected.
Okay. B, Lou repeatedly told her grandson that she would take care of him in her will. And I don't see that anywhere.
Yeah, what does take care of him in the will mean? And what does it have to do with the farm?
Yeah. Lou was well aware of the legal requirements the executor of her will would have to satisfy. I don't think that's true because if she did, she would have named her grandson.
She probably would have included this if she wanted it. This strengthens that it was unlikely because it's like, yeah, she knew what she needed to do. She didn't include it, so therefore she probably wouldn't object.
Yeah. The Stoke farm was the main cause of the estate's debts. There's nothing in there that even says that.
Nope. Excellent.
So then I,
Even if it was the main cause, I think that strengthens that if it is the main cause, I think that strengthens that it'll be unlikely to have an objection.
right.
Because like, yeah, we need to sell it to cover the debt.
And then I read E and it says Lou's grandson had repeatedly expressed his desire to own a farm. And you know what? I read that even if we talk about after we talk about it, and it still doesn't make sense.
Because if Lou's grandson had a desire to own a farm, would that be a reason why Lou might not want Z to sell it instead
Yeah.
of letting her grandson have it?
Yes.
It at least gives us an alternative. Like it might not destroy the argument completely, but at least weakens it. And it's like, well, hey, I know my grandma, and I know if I wanted this farm, like she would have wanted me to have it.
Mm.
I think that would be like a serious, like I think in court that would be like a serious debate where it's like, hey, we're supposed to I'm supposed to handle the debts, but the grandson gets everything that's left over, and the grandson really wants the farm.
Yeah.
So yeah, she probably would, and I said would have any objection. So like she might have ultimately ended up being okay selling the farm, but this at least gives us one objection to not selling the farm, right?
Right. I guess I was confused because it's assumed, right? It's like you said, information you have to bring in.
We get to bring in new information on weekend questions because this is a bottom up.
Right.
So
Okay.
if this were true, it would give us an objection to selling the farm. Because it says if true. So we could assume that all of these are true.
So then A, the estate's debts could not be cleared without selling the farm. We could assume that's true. Why wouldn't that be right?
Because that would be why she would want to sell the farm. We're trying to say that she wouldn't want to sell the farm.
Oh. Okay.
That would give us a reason to sell the farm.
Got it. Very tricky.